All right, happy Fading Suns Day, everybody, and thanks for joining us today. Yeah, we've had the game out and in your hands for over a week now, and you all been doing great things with it already. Very excited to see all the multiplayer games happening in our Discord. Very excited to see people already doing mods, creating videos about mods, all these great guides now showing up on Steam for the game. That's been a lot of fun. All right, sounding good, so I'm going to take off the headphones. I'll be monitoring the chat over here, and that is for both Steam and YouTube. That's right. We are streaming on Steam and YouTube. So if you have any comments or questions, please put them in the chat. I'm going to start the chat in the Steam right now. That's been a lot of fun. All right, sounding good, so I'm going to take off the headphones. I'll be monitoring. Yes, there was a new failed to send chat message. Oh, wonderful. All right, so maybe I'm having issues with the Steam chat. Not seeming to have them with the YouTube chat. Thanks for joining me there. There's a random question about an old bug that we fixed. EBM says, a new journey begins. Exactly, EBM, in many ways. The Emperor of the Fading Suns Enhanced is out there, having a great life of its own. It's always amazing when you launch a game and you get to see what other people do with it. And that's why I throw in all these modding tools and all the rest, which we love so much. And of course, we'll start a new adventure today with a whole new game, too. Rectodren thought there was a loophole in the Great Charter. No loopholes in the Great Charter. The Great Charter has been bug-free until the symbiotes get into it. No, the Great Charter is fixed. It's always amazing when you launch a game. Fix. And yes, we have fixed a few more bugs. Some memory leak issues. Some modding tools improved. But one I'm really looking forward to showing are more tooltips. This is one thing we've been getting a lot of requests from, and there's no exact way to do tooltips right. We're giving too much information, too little information, giving you information that just distracts you now, but you need later. It's a juggling act, and it's not the right, no level is perfect for everybody, so we try and find one that works for you. So always let us know. Give us more feedback. What do you like? What have you appreciated seeing? What would you like to see more of? As I swip back and forth between chats again. Oh, why is my Steam chat not working? Say la vie. We'll monitor as best we can. If you're in Steam, thank you. Pick up the game. Pick up some friends to play this with. The forums are very active. The Discord is the main place for multiplayer, but you can find multiplayer games in the Steam and GOG forums as well. Sounds like you have the stream playing in the background. Thank you for letting me know that. I thought I didn't. I had that muted, and somehow I unmuted. EBM, thank you very much for letting me know there was an echo. I appreciate that. Hope it sounds good now. All right. So again, we talked a little bit about the bug fixes. Maybe I can put them in the chat and see if it allows us to do that. Hold on one second. Let's see. Let's see what happens when I try and put that in the chat. Alright, I don't know what's going on with the Steam chat. Interface changes. Left. I appreciate it. James Shemaines. Yeah, that's a more significant change than you'd think at this stage, but it's definitely one that's been mentioned and to be considered. Oh, come on. All my chats are being annoying today. I might just be staying out of chat today. I don't know why. I don't know why the chats are being problems. Alright, heck with it. The heck with it. We'll actually do the stream. Alright, so I promised modding fixes, or not modding fixes. I promised a simple look at how to mod. So you should be able to see where I am. This is where Steam places all the Emperor of the Fading Suns files on my computer. So I imagine you can see it up there. Blow it up. If I blow it up, I'm going to be messing up everything else on it. So let's not do that right now. Well, maybe. Let's handle this in OBS. No, OBS is being a pain. All right, so anyway. This PC, local disk C, program files, Steam, Steam Apps, Common, Emperor of the Fading Suns. All these files, lots of info in here. Lots of cool things to check out. One thing I'll always recommend when you're in here, you'll see that there are a lot of different files you can modify. Ignore most of them. This is the main place you're going to be, is in the DAT. If you're modding or using mods, you'll also be in the mod. You might want to play around with the map editor. I really should have a stream just showing off the map editor. If you'd like to see a stream about the map editor sometime, let me know in the chat, and we can discuss that for a future day. But the main thing you'll be is in the DAT. And before you make any changes to the DAT, what I recommend is that you create a copy of the DAT. And put it anywhere you want. I'll paste it right into here. And we will now have DAT copy. So there is the clean one, and then I'll go in and play with this one. All right, look at all these files. Lots of stuff you can modify. Want to modify alien ruins or plain old ruins. How agility impacts combat. What arboriums do, how damage impacts it, etc. You can do all that. And the great thing about all of these files, you don't need to know any programming to do the modding. Hey, Leonard. Hey, good to have you here. Good to have so many of you here today. How are we doing on that Steam audience? 23 in Steam. That's great. Love seeing you all there. Hope you're enjoying the game there too. This efs.ini file is where you'll do most of the simple modding, and all of these are openable with a simple text editor. And so I've got mine already set up with Notepad. You might want to use WordPad. You can use all kinds of different things. I mean, really anything you use, this will work for. And we'll go ahead and full screen it and take a look at some of the things you can change. You can change those basic settings. Or do you have your videos on to begin with? Do you have music and sound on? And these will stay every time you open the game until you change this INI file. Got that resource hover that we recently added. You can turn that off if you want to play with less knowledge. There's interesting conversations about the game. When we created the game, we purposefully obfuscated some of the details. We wanted you to have not only fog of war of how the world looked, but also how the world operated. So you could find these out as you went on. We really enjoyed this method of learning things. And back in the 90s, you often didn't get full information about the games. I appreciate folks like more data now, so we're starting to add more data like that resource hover tool that so many of you are already enjoying so much. A map editor stream would be great to show newer folks how it works. All right, thanks, EBM. We'll look on into that. That'd be fun. Map editors are a lot of fun to use. Yeah, I think I've told the story before that Will Wright shares about he created a very fun game right on Bungling Bay. I used to play on the Commodore 64. A very fun game, but he enjoyed working the map editor more than he enjoyed playing the game itself, and that's where SimCity came from. All right, let's say you want to play a game where there's more war going on. You can decrease your like at the very beginning of the game, how much the AI likes you. If you want a more peaceful game, increase their maximum, increase the minimum, increase maximum. You want to have more conflict, decrease the maximum and minimum. Make yourself less popular. All right, a lot of you are complaining about VOW being too powerful. The VOW are supposed to be very powerful. The longer the game goes, the more powerful they get. So you'll notice there's an activate VOW thing. Once that VOW is that technology is researched, doesn't matter by whom, the VOW are activated. If you want to turn that off, just set that to -1. All right, but hey, I like the VOW being that omnipresent looming threat in the back. Change the starting year. Make it 1 if you want to. Go for it. Change the number of turns between each vote. If you want there to be more frequent votes and a lot more diplomacy going on, change that to 5. That's a great thing for multiplayer. That way you are always having to work for votes if you want to stay regent. When we've got this 10 vote thing, usually you're not worrying about it until like 3 years before the vote, you start trying to get votes. It happens every 5 years. You are actively pursuing votes constantly. And that makes for a much more diplomacy-rich game. How often does a patriarch die? You want a game with a lot of religious craziness. Have them die more often. In fact, let's do that for this game. I'm going to change that to 21. How much money do you start with? There's a lot of things in here for how many resources. Do you want a resource-rich world or a resource-scarce game? You can increase or decrease the money. Decrease or increase your default tax rate. People that are complaining that they start losing money early in the game, that's on purpose to get you digging into those tools so you can start making juicy choices about how much loyalty do you want versus how much income do you want, etc. If you don't want to be losing money at the start, increase that tax rate. Increase the amount of money you have. Yeah, decrease starting pay rate or and the like. The AI has those same stats that you can modify. So a lot of different fun things you can do. How much money is required? If you don't like the league getting involved in the game, really increase how much money they need to get to start the to declare the Third Republic. Right now, at some point between when their war chest gets to 300,000 and 500,000 Firebirds, they'll declare it. Knock that up to 500,000, 700,000, or 1 million to 2 million. 999,000. That'll decrease the chance of that being an impact in the game. Or if you want to go to war with the league right off the bat, knock that number down. So yeah, you're seeing all these fun things you can change. Now the game we're going to do, in our last game we were House Hawkwood. Redeeming humanity through the eschatonic order. This time, I'm more interested in a more oppressive church and more espionage, more spying and scheming. So, we are moving on into some of the combat stuff. How much damage? If you want cities to get blown up in your game, reduce their max damage. If you want them to survive, increase their max damage. Right now, they're pretty survivable. It takes a lot to destroy a city. But if you want to see fiefs, if you want to bombard fiefs into oblivion from orbit, knock that down to 25. You can have collateral damage in cities too if you attack something in a city and miss it. So you can damage a city you're trying to take over. That was something that EFS is meant to simulate, is how war can have very negative effects on the game. Does the AI have unlimited resources technically? For building purposes, they can build units without worrying about their resource limitations. But as far as feeding them and everything else, as far as unit pay, things like that, they still have to worry about resources. Unit pay especially can really hinder the AI. So let's see. So we want to get down into... Oh yeah, you want to see how quickly units heal a city? It's 12. If they not into seal, it's 2. And there's then a random and factor and bonuses, etc. Cities heal at 8. The plague, the fun of the plague. All right, so we're going to the church stuff. We want a more oppressive church, right? So, for instance, we want the number of turns until excommunication expires. Let's increase that to 8. So if you're excommunicated, it's really going to hurt. Not going to increase the chance of which you get it. You already take a huge hit to your loyalty if you're excommunicated. So I'm not modifying that. Not worrying about the Holy Writ. And the like. Here we go. The prescribed. This is what I'm looking forward to. We're going to have more technologies prescribed. We'll have a more tech scarce, strangled game. So for instance, here's an easy one. Usually, if a technology is prescribed, only one gets prescribed in a year. In this case, if we change this to 1, then more than one can get changed in a year. In other words, we're setting it to on. So over time, the church gets more and more worried about technology. That's this like decay, like levels. So if the church really likes the technology, it's at a 20, right? And when it gets down to a 2, then it gets prescribed, right? And there's a chance the technologies, the church will like them less and less over time. So we can increase this decay rate. And we can also increase the like level before it gets prescribed. So we're going to go to 4 with that. So we are now looking at a pretty dangerous church. Probably a lot more active. A lot more active in this game. All right. There's a lot in the SI&I. So many things you can handle in here. So always, always, always make sure you save your changes. Let's close up. But let's go into something else. There is also sects. I think we're going to have a more Avestite heavy game this time. So you see the Avestites, negative research rates, technology is hard to maintain. But one thing that's really good about the Avestites, well, they do make a lot of food. So they're the best at food production, that's for sure. But they're also great at loyalty. Let's get on down. Oh, they also do get experience better. Let's let them get experience a little more quickly. We're going to make them a little tougher. So they route less often. They get experience more quickly. They're highly loyal. They currently get a spotting bonus. And I'm going to knock down the camouflage bonus. I think that they're out there proselytizing. So I'm actually going to set that to a 0. Armor, they definitely have the side defense bonus. So you can change all of these things about the sect. We've done that. We're going to be a more Avestite heavy game. So let's save that. Close it up. And let's go into the unit. This is a lot of fun to change. How powerful units are, what the units' names are, all those things. We're going to have some fun with the unit names. We're going to start that right off the bat. So, you've seen some of the names we change things to recognize friends of ours and just have fun with various units. So, for instance, we have the Scout Tank. As you remember, I always call the Tiger Lily after one of the streamers who enjoys this game. Let's see. We are going to be focusing on more religious names for our units. Again, I'm going for a more repressive church, so we've got to show our loyalty to the church. So what do you say we make our medium tank the Angel? And then the assault tank is the Avenging. I might be pushing my length if I say Avenging Angel. Let's just say the Avenging A. It could also be Assault Tank. The Avenging Assault Tank. I like that. I like that. The Officer Corps. We should change our Officer Corps. Let's keep recognizing the streamers. I think that's a good idea. Let's change the Officer Corps to the Das Tactic. What do you think? Officer Corps good as a Das Tactic. You got spies, assassins, and doppelgangers. I feel like a nastier name from the spies to reflect the religious nature of this. We can't have Inquisitors. We've already got Inquisitors out there. So we're going to call them Confessors. You confess to these. So our spy is now a confessor. Let's see. All the ships. Oh, spaceships. Yeah. Let's change the Vlad Cruiser to a battle mode. Another streamer we can recognize here. Name these after your friends, family members, anybody. If you're going to blow up a lot of things, name them after somebody you don't like. And you can always name the Grappler after someone you don't care for. That's the symbiote ship. See, and you're going to be blowing up a few of those in these games if you're doing well. Can make the Inquisitors a little stronger. That's dangerous. That's always dangerous. But you know what? I'm going to be a little militia heavy. So one thing I'm going to do, we are going to call, let's change our militia. I like this idea. Oh, partisans. We always change the partisans to the Portnows. Again, streamers who have been good for this game. Let's, there's our Militia Legion. You could call it the conscripts, the levies. I like levies. I'm going to call these our peasant levies. And, we're going to make them a little tougher. So this first thing, that's what type of unit they are. I'm not going to mess with that. Their movement is 4, good with that. I'm going to give them a little more spot. These are Vestites. They're always on the lookout for sin. Camouflage, for keeping that down. Agility. They know how to dodge. I'm going to give them a little more agility. And that's everybody, not just mine. Everybody's going to get those. So I like that. All right, so we got some cool little changes here. We made the militia a little more value. Hey, it's a battle mode. DOS tactic. Hey, I didn't see y'all in there. DOS will love being the officer. And now I have I didn't even know you were in the chat when I made the cruiser the battle mode. I'm looking forward to battle modes, battling battle modes in the depths of space. All right. So, now we have that. So, let's actually go into Emperor of the Fading Suns. Hurrah! Look at these tooltips. That's right. Welcome to Fading Suns. Yeah, maybe we're going a little tooltip heavy. We had none before. If you think we're putting in too many tooltips, let us know. If there are tooltips you think we should change, let us know. I mean, obviously, quit game means terminates the game. The tooltips, I think, should always be in a computer voice. Terminates the game. Displays a list of credits. Displays game options. Loads a previously saved game. Yeah, I'm not a voice actor, as you can tell. Don't have your game devs do voice acting. Get a real voice actor. Imperialis, glad to see you starting a new playthrough. Absolutely. You've been doing some great ones, Imperialis. Battle mode. I won my first game today as the Kados. Was fun. Salandra, does she now rule the universe? Uh-oh, we are in trouble if battle mode lets Salandra the Kados rule. I should have it. Oh, I'm wearing my Invictus shirt. That's right. That's right. St. Mantius. Mantius Invictus. Good shirt to wear when you're starting a new campaign to take over the universe. Imperialis. It's not too many tooltips until your tooltips have tooltips. I can go with that. I can appreciate that. But we'll see. We'll see. All right, so let's start a new game. Starts a new game. I'm going random this time. We've done the historical map. Random maps are harder. Random maps are harder. So I'm going to be Lee Halan in this game. And I am going to go at easy, but I'm going to let them stay all a beginner. Why am I letting them be a beginner? So they get more starting bonuses. Makes them tougher opponents. However, all of these combine into things like how often texts get prescribed and what's in your ruins, what you encounter in the ruins. So ruins won't be that tough, but I want these to be tougher. And making them beginner means that they have more traits, more positive traits to start the game. We're going to turn off tutorials. Consume food is on. Universal Warehouse is on. I really was debating doing another historical game with Universal Warehouse off. That makes a more difficult game as well. But when you're doing your first random map, I recommend Universal Warehouse on. Random map, if I haven't said this enough, can be tough. Battle mode. Tooltips are fine. I like to be able to turn them off, though. I honestly don't need a tooltip to explain what exit game means, generally speaking. Yeah, that was kind of us being cute, I will admit. And you can... What do we do about tooltips again? Let me think. We were talking about this. Did we actually implement it? Nah. All right. We talked about universal tooltips on and off. It's not implemented. All right. Anyway, back into the game. All right. So we're going forward with this. Oh, some people have complained about combat reports taking too long. We're working on that one. You can also just turn them off. I like the combat reports. I enjoy watching that bang, bang, bang happen because it's telling me a story at the same time. Battle Mode says, I love tooltips in situations where the data is usually obscured, though. By the way, yeah, I have mentioned it. If you just joined us, remember that there is a new version up on Steam, so grab it. And the GOG version is getting updated as well. Imperialis. A question comment that came up in one of my videos that you might be able to answer. Do you get better results in ruins if you use a noble to pop them open? No, I just like having a noble go in because it feels like the tabletop game. It feels at that point that it is the player characters going in there and walking through the ruins. And this leads to another combat thing I like to talk about. People talk about the stacks and how they operate and the like. And you'll often see that I always keep units out of those stacks or not in the attacks to exploit. I mean, this is classic military strategy. You don't send all your forces right into an attack. You have units following behind them to exploit. And that's what the nobles are. Nobles are very good at exploiting. Pun completely intended. But trackers and others can do that too. Partisans or Portnow units can do the same. I didn't realize there's a full Lost Worlds map until you mentioned it in a recent stream. That map is huge. Yeah, there's so much in this game. I mean, this thing is so replayable. I looked at the ruins.dat file and couldn't make sense of it. Maybe we'll dig more into it next time around then. I didn't want the ruins to be a big part of this game. Like I said, I want there to be spies and espionage and lots of church craziness in this game. I've slowed the combat reports down, actually. They're too fast. And slowing them down makes it much more fun to watch. That's right. You can change the speed at which the combat reports go by you on the screen. In the ANI. And escape out of them if I already watched them. I would love a table to modify the houses similar to the sects. That's what some of the modders are doing in interesting ways. Thanks, Gary Oak. Cholka. It's okay to go overkill on tooltips as long as there's a decent delay for them to show up. This way they're everywhere, but out of the way until you actually look for them. Yeah, I think that's kind of how we are. So we're not getting the tooltips here. Maybe we should have tooltips on the difficulty information. But let's go into the game so I can show you more. All right, new galaxy being created. Gotta love it. All right, so into the game we go. I will be Chikao. We'll go as Prince Chikao. Yes, Prince is a gender-neutral title in the Fading Suns, much like actor, things like that. And any gender can be a prince in the Fading Suns universe. All right, we got less points. We got a friend of the church, definitely taking that one. Rule of law, I'm getting rid of that one. I'm going to be a little more oppressive. Same with the noblesse oblige. We're getting rid of those. Now again, it's going to be a tech light game. So I'm going to grab some ancient documentarian right off the bat. And you all know I love Battle Master. That's how you send your nobles right into the fray. I was lucky my last game. I still had 2 nobles left at the end of the game. Let's see what happens this time. Battle Master. All right. I could take the negative traits. I could take enemy in league and give myself some other stuff. That's never a bad idea. Anti-trade, spendthrift, etc. Gee, enemy in the league might not be bad. Let's do enemy in the league. I'm just taking that more for the role-playing. I might not even spend that point. Charismatic leadership. Administration, mercantile savvy. Definitely not taking the enlightened nobility. Like I said, this is going to be a tech scarce game. Increase food yields. Maybe I'll take another ancient documentarian. Yeah, sure. Let's take another ancient documentarian. Sure. Definitely not. I don't feel like a despot. This is religion oppressive, not the nobles oppressive. Inbreeding, insanity. It might be a little insane as to how they're going to act, but in-depth military training, not going for that. No, not coming in as veterans. They'll be all right. Did you put warehouse on? Yes, warehouse is on because we're doing random game. I was debating doing one with historical map and warehouse off, but I want to do one where I show the random maps, and strongly recommend first time you do random maps, warehouse on. They're definitely not decadent. Anti-trade enemy leak seems a bit too redundant. Disdains trade, same. So I think we're going with this. All right, now we do have a lot of options here. And in this game, I think I'm going to start with Prana Bindu. Last game, you saw me go for parapsychology right off the bat and made it the eschatonic way. In this one, however, yeah, we're still going religious, but a different route in religion. So let's start with Prana Bindu in our first lab. New patriarch is Orthodox. All right. So let's look at the universe. Where are we? Here's Byzantium Secundus. Oh my gosh, there's only one jump to Byzantium Secundus. Straight from Holy Terror. I said I wanted this to be a religiously oppressive game, and now you know why. The only way to Byzantium Secundus is through Holy Terror, the homeworld of the church. Oh, that is hilarious. Absolutely love that. Absolutely love that. 22 of you on this the Steam stream. Appreciate you being there with us. Definitely appreciate all of you in YouTube with us as well. Thanks for all the comments and questions already. So you have to go through Holy Terra to get to Byzantium Secundus. In other words, the church, if you're at war with the church, they can keep you from doing anything on Byzantium, and they can move all their troops there immediately. And the League is right next to Holy Terra as well. That's funny. All right, so where are we? Where are we? Let's cycle through to our next units. There we go. All right. So there's Kish to Gwyneth. Goodness gracious. Look at our route. Oh my gosh, what we have to go through just to get to Byzantium Secundus. That's crazy. So we know we're going first. We got to get Gwyneth. We got to get Daishan. We've got to get Midian to Rampart. Wow. Oh my goodness, and Rampart's right next to Chernobog. Uh-oh. Arakon's next to Chernobog. And Abshai, the Hazat are in an interesting position. Vow and Symbiotes all around them. All right, the Al-Malik, they're a little closer to Byzantium Secundus than we are. So we might be battling them for control of Daishan at some point. So we got to go quickly to Gwyneth and Daishan. So we can't... No dawdling in this game. No dawdling. Yeah, this is a very... Why am I clicking around? Let's do it this way. All right, here's Delphi. Again, Daishan is the critical of this game. This is the choke point for 3 of us. Oh, Severus, the Takatos either go all the way around this way or have to go through the Hawkwoods to get to them. Might see Hawkwood and Takatos at war earlier. Maybe they'll be the peace faction this time around. All right, this is a fascinating map. There will be not much happening up here. I doubt there'll be much happening there. This is going to be fierce. That's going to be fierce. Absolution is here. Vrilia here. Where's Stigmata? Yeah, this is going to be interesting. This will be interesting. Okay. Okay. Now, do I want to take the long route with my freighter? I really want that freighter to help out. But it's got a long trip through space to get to me. Oh, here we go. Let's see. Wow. Lots of comments. Sorry, EBM says, bring on the Tracker Legions. Admiral, that's awesome. What a cool map. Chernobog is pretty close too. Exactly. Some really interesting jump lanes too. Exactly, Imperialis. Map gender is really good in this. Thank you, Battle Mode. Stigmata is really close to Byzantium Secundus as well. How many jumps away is it? I wasn't really paying attention. There you go. You're right. Stigmata to Holy Terra. Holy Terra might be taken over by symbiotes early in the game. Who knows? Is it a spoiler to let us know what it is that sets off the vow? In my last game, they came into my territory claiming the Omni could upset them. You should have watched the very start of this video, Battle Mode, because I showed exactly what does it. So, now you gotta replay the video. Yes, once one faction sets off the vow, all humanity, the vow don't really take into account the different factions. You're humans as a group. And when humans do something, all humans are to blame and all humans will suffer for it. There's that vow war that we talk about in the Fading Suns books where humanity for the first time in its quest through space had its bulk hauler handed to it in combat. So yeah, there is something that sets them off and I explained it and you can go back and look at it and you can modify it and you can change it so the vow don't get set off. Symbiotes Church and League are going to have field day in this game. It's going to be an interesting one. Absolutely right. Absolutely right. So what I'm going to do in this game, I hate taking both of my frigates away, but I really want to go explore this route to Biz 2. So my frigates are on their way. All right, we got to grab Kish. So the classic The classic, how fastly can we take Kish and go on to the next planet? It's almost tempting. Take all my units off of here and start going for other planets already. But I need those resources. I mean, I'm good on food. Oh no, I need to get farms quickly. I need to get farms quickly. We always need more metal. So let's go for it. Let's get moving. Let's get this happening. All right. You all know I love to use my assault landers. Fly through space. Well, through the upper atmosphere. So let's land on the farm. Grab an anti-tank gun and an artillery unit. Shoot it up into space. Let's land it. I liked landing here. Drive on down. Grab that way. So let's do it. Unload, and we found a farm. And found a lot of energy. So that's useful. And in this farm, what do we see? Ooh. Anti-air, artillery, lots of militia. Remember, we made the militia better. So we got to be careful. Battle mode says, I read that. Very interesting lore. The Vow are terrifying, actually. Having such a scary looming endgame threat gives that mechanic real weight in the game. Exactly. Them, the League. You take too long. There's a lot of stuff that can mess you up. Or you can turn those off and play for as long as you want. Wanderer 101. Greetings to all EFS lovers. Where's the niche for naval units? They seem little usable. Well, certainly on Kish, you don't have much call for naval units. However, Stigmata, Severus, and there are a number of the Rebel worlds where you definitely want them. And I will, they have a strong role. Rebels make good use of them, especially on watery planets. But they have a special role for modders. Modders love that naval combat. So look for more mods that take full advantage of the naval battles. Yeah, but there are definitely worlds. Kish is not a good world for naval, I will admit. I'll have to do a Ducatos game and show how to use the boaty boats more effectively. All right. So, what we're going to do is go into space, and we are going to grab our brand new... It's still called Cruiser. I thought I fixed that. Shoot. Why is it called Cruiser? Dang it. My name changes. I must not have saved my unit.dat. Aw, man. I bet I didn't. That was supposed to be called a battle mode. I'll have to go in and change that before the next game. Shoot. That'd be annoying. That means the militia aren't better than what I'd done before. Ah, darn it. So that's the main thing I'm modding. Save your changes. Save your changes. Oh, man, it is definitely a cruiser, not a battle mode. It missed completely the first shot. That's better. All right, that's pretty good. Let's get some more units over here. So on Kish, got units everywhere. Do we have anything in the mine? Not really. Got some good stuff in the farm, don't we? Nope. All right, we'll take them out of the palace then. Or what do we have in the fort? Oh, yeah, that's a good place for it. We're going to land it in the fort. Bring you down into the fort. Let's grab another anti-tank gun, another artillery. Shoot into space, bring it back down. Time to take that farm. So we got some good units. Battle mode. I've had to use naval before to win an invasion. It's really fun. What I really like is having those naval units attacking coastal fiefs. That's a lot of fun. If you remember, in my last playthrough when I took over Istakar, I had a bunch of battleships threatening my one little beachhead. I had to blow up those battleships from orbit in order to not lose my my mine. Yep. Battle mode says, depends on planet, naval, or powerful on a planet with a lot of water. Like their sets are really good. They're essential if you want to make a beachhead on a different continent, but can't reach the main settlement. You often can't land on the main continent. They're protected by shields and PTS guns. Yeah, you'd be wiped out if you tried to land. So you've got to land on another part of the planet and start ferrying your troops over with naval transports. All right, let's buy the farm. Oh. All right, that was a good quick fight. Yeah, I hate that the militia were not improved like I tried to. I'm going to have to go back in and do that again. I will have to go back in and do that again. We'll leave everybody here. They're going to go off next turn. What we can do now... Oh, we had it. I hate that this isn't called a tiger lily. I wanted that to be called a tiger lily. Oh, well. Shoot. Can't believe I didn't save those. Alright, let's get explorating. We're not going to use, again, these scout tanks. Obviously good for scouting. Ooh, there's some heavy stuff in that well. We're not going to use them in the combat, though. We're going to keep us scouting with it. Keep them out of the main areas. Let's get this bolt collar. Land it on Kish here. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, faster to fly them in here and come attack that well than to just march them up the road. So, bolt collar, land them in a city because they take damage if they're outside of a city. Put an officer in there. Well, that'll slow them down, actually. Put an officer in them. Can I get a noble up here in time? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Nope. I always like to have officers with my armor. I want to get all my armor up there quickly. Yeah, let's take the officer. What the heck? Officer, a smiter, a wolfen, and another wolfen. Let's take those all up. Shoot them up. Let's go land them in that farm that we just got. Unload them all. And start bringing them on around to attack the well. I wonder if we can get them to come out of the well. They're obviously defended in the well. If I get them to march out. Let's go to here. Let's not go all the way. Maybe we'll get them to come out after us. Oh, maybe we'll come down here. Could have just put all my forces together right here. Yeah, I can get them up there. So let's do that. Alright. Didn't need my bulk collar to do that after all. Alright, we're going to leave these troops sitting here so we can take them off in the assault landers next turn. Oh, I forgot what I wanted to do at the very beginning of the game. You ready for something fun? We are currently Orthodox, and that's a classic Lehalon setup, especially with Flavius. However, Chikao is a more fierce believer in the Pancreator's words. Long ago, obviously not now, but long ago, the church was full of corrupt, fake ministers, using it merely as they're basically con artists in priest garb, scamming the flock. And the Avestites consider themselves a reaction to that, bringing back the truth, a much more fundamentalist, much more literal, and they ignore a lot of the stuff in the Omega Gospels that don't appeal to them. So that is what we're going to be in this game. So we are changing the planet sect to Avestite. That can start causing some religious rebellions right off the top. That's right, Nikitas. Chikao is a firm believer in the Pancreator, that this is what humanity needs. Humanity has not towed the line well enough. The Orthodoxy has gone along rather than forced the changes that need to be done. Chikao will make it so. We will have an Avestite universe. Dum dum dum! Alright. Let's see. So, we know there's a fief here, rebel fief there. So the rebels we talk about, we call them rebels, but really, at the start of the game, you are one of the leaders of your house. You're not the leader yet. You're maybe the most powerful at the start of the game, but there are all these others who think that they should actually be the house leader. And that's what you're doing on Kish, is bringing all the other Lehalon to understanding your point of view, even if you have to shell them a few times like we did in this farm. Because there was some good, strong units in there we had to take out first. Thankfully, we have the house fleet. And that really makes a difference. So, we need to bring all these other recalcitrant Almotheans are a great way to go in the game. That healing bonus, mwah, that really lets you speed run your attacks on new planets. You land on a planet, you just throw your folks in, you take a bunch of damage, that's fine. Your folks are getting healed up really quickly the next turn. Big advantage. Didn't the Lehalon also break away from the church in their backstory? The Lehalon historically were the worst. They make the Dekados look like Boy Scouts and choir boys. They were the worst of the worst. And then there was a mass conversion, and they have towed the orthodoxy ever since. And we're going to go beyond the orthodoxy to the Vestite way. And those who say that the Vestite way is actually supporting demonics by being less understanding and less empathic, pasha! We hold no truck with that. We will be the fierce ones. A really good guide and esteem that gives a sense of the different sects. Thank you, Imperialis. Good to hear that. Yeah, we're going to have some negatives on our research. So like I said, this will be a research light game. Anyway, so we know we got that well we're going after. We know we have this fief. And you see that there's a road going apparently to nowhere. So we know there must be something there that we should be interested in. We want to get a lot of troops over here. What else we got? We got a fief here, road going over that way. Maybe there's interesting stuff over there as well. So we want to get this pretty quickly. That's probably a farm because it's by all that water. That's in the mountains, so it's likely a mine. We know we need more metals. So, all right. So we got lots of troops moving. If we want to bulk haul troops, I didn't mean to leave the planet. We need to put them in a city. If we want to move them on foot, then or by assault lander, we can put them out in the wherever. So we know that next turn we want to be bringing troops probably to this mine and over to that city. That's a long walk. Maybe we'll walk that way. We'll probably build up the road over here as well. So let's grab our engineer with whom we start the game. Let's send that engineer walking over this way to extend out the road. Some people would think we should start off with a lab, but pshaw, to heck with research. All right, we're going to send our black gun here. We want that from when we do find a ruins to explore. We're going to start sending that out towards our main area. That militia will sentry. All of these troops are going to sit here and hope that we can sucker the AI out of their well. Get them where they're less defended in the open. Don Snow! Good having you here. I'm a fan of the random galaxy. Yeah. You want a better challenge? Random galaxy it is. So we expect that there's a ruin here because there's a road to nowhere. So we're going to start moving this anti-air gun up. We'll go ahead and sentry that guy. And start moving these troops on into our main city area to get hauled off by bulk hauler. You'll go ahead and get sentried. You're already in the city area, so let's concentrate a lot of you into the shield. Yep, a lot of good units in the shield already. Sentry you. Garrison, call it sentrying. Might have should call it garrison, but sentry was shorter. So, build. Select the unit to build. We'll go ahead and move our artillery on into the shield as well. Select the unit to build. Garrison that. Garrison them. Yeah, so people say if they're sentries, shouldn't they have a higher ability to spot? So my friends who served in the Gulf Wars always talk about the way to make troops less attentive is actually to garrison them somewhere for a long time. And they stop paying attention to everything around them. That's why they're constantly being forced to drill and go on pickets. So you could also make the joke that when we garrison the units, they should be losing some perception. As it is, they just keep what they have. Alright. Gonna leave all of these in the shield, get picked up later. There's my force. Really want to get a noble into action on both ends of this. I'm gonna send a noble ahead to scout. Let's do that. That's dangerous. That is dangerous. Let's get another noble heading up this way. Maybe take part in the ruins exploration. Got some infantry. I think I'll send the infantry this way. Yeah, let's send 2 infantry one way and 1 the other. Shall we? Yeah, remember, we went for Battle Master, so we want our nobles in the lead. Nand! Oh, what difficulty? Don, we did a variable difficulty. Again, we're doing a more easy one. So we left all of the AI in easy, so they would be tougher. They'd have more traits. But we put them at beginner and put us at easy. The ruins will not be that tough. I made some changes, however, to make the game a little more difficult. So that's what we're going for with the modding. So look what we did with the modding. Nan Fennu. As a former eschatonic, I know it's important not to compromise your faith. When sentry, they're having a nice nap. Unfortunately, that's what my friends would say. Sentry duty meant see if you could sleep with your eyes open. We're going to move these troops on out. Sentry these. Yeah, they're not well protected right now, but nobody's coming right now. We'll change that. Don't worry. Let's get these troops moving along. Sentry you. Get these troops moving along. Sentry you. Garrison you, I should say. All right, now we're back here. This is going to be a big risk in a random map. We got a long way to go. But I really want that freighter. I should leave the Power Legion behind, because if this thing gets blown up, I get ambushed along the way. And there could be symbiotes anywhere. Not only am I losing the freighter, but I'm losing 2 Power Legion units. But I'm going to want those as I start expanding out to other worlds. So let's go for it. We're going to take a risk. This is actually a risk. There's that Imperial fleet we'd really like to have. And our first jump to Holy Terra! So let's go take a look at Holy Terra, shall we? Yep, you've all seen it. What planet could this possibly be? A more dangerous version of what we have. All right. So they've gone. You know me, I like to explore. So, war on, fog of war. Look at all that stuff we're finding already. And you are going to walk all the way over here. Finding some Hazat. And we'll sentry the rest of you. No, we're definitely not done with our turn. Not done with our turn. Much building to be done on Kish to start with. So we know we want some sentries, but we also need more military units. Let's start. I mean, it's not sentries. We want more engineers. So let's start with an engineer. Build engineer. Let's also build an engineer in this farm over here. Build engineer. I'm going to go up here and build an engineer. So, I've talked about this before. Remember how the houses line up? We meant the Liha for the Lihalan to kind of be the easiest house to start with. You can build wells, you can build a lot of stuff on this planet. Not a very dangerous planet compared to some of the others. We'll talk about how crazy it can be with the Hazat when the rebels start opening up the ruins, or the Al-Malik get attacked by symbiotes. This is supposed to be the easy one. We put in some things here for players to learn. For instance, one of the early juicy decisions you get to make. Look at this. There's a well here, an energy node here. This well is not taking it because you only harvest 2 away. So this is claimed by the farm. So one of the very early things you can do if you conquer both of these with an engineer is raise both of these, move this well to here, and you collect so much more energy. So much more energy. And then you move the farm up to here, just out of that range, and you still get a lot of food, and you don't get that. So early decision, do you lose a turn of production by raising a fief? And of course, those engineers that are spent to build it. So we put in some of these choices early for players to observe and say, hey, wait, I'm not collecting this wonderful amount of energy. Is it worth it to me to destroy my fief and an engineer to change that around? So a lot of decisions you can make early on. It is designed to teach in these kind of ways. Oh, lots of good conversation I'm missing. 37 hours to win the game. I love that. 30 to 40 is kind of exactly where we think the sweet spot for the game is. A lot of time recruiting and moving lower tier units that I've really used. Gonna play more lean. Interesting. Looking forward to how this new game from battle mode goes. Oh, you can't see my resource stockpile. Interesting. Yeah, you're right. Look at that. Look at that. Thank you for the heads up. Let me know if that looks better. Battle mode. As you play, you'll definitely trim the fat. So who knows? Some people are like, cool, let's go bigger. Exactly. Does a farm collect energy? A farm does not collect energy. So you can click on the farm, and you can see harvest 56 food out of a max of 64. As it heals, based on loyalty, all those things impact how much you actually harvest. So the city just took some damage. Where is it showing that? Yeah, you see it's that's the city sect health. Oh, 100%. I didn't damage it when I took it. All my shots hit. But you can damage a city and it'll get more or less, I mean. And as that loyalty goes up, we'll collect more. Harvest more food. All right, so we've already built 3 engineers here, but we can go to the Agora. Those sometimes you have to hold your nose, go in, and buy you some metal. So we have now done that. There's my metal that I just bought. So let's go ahead and build some more. I'm going to build an engineer in a church. Don't tell anyone. He's a very, very pious engineer. Now, I also want some more military units. So let's go to the factory. I'm always worried about anti-air because those ruins, we know we're going to have to ruin soon. So let's get a self-propelled anti-air going there. Takes 40 of that metal I just did. So let's get that happening. Let's see. Yeah, never a bad idea to build an artillery in the palace. Yeah, we've got 2 anti-aircraft guns. We'll have a 3rd with the self-propelled. That's good for attacking ruins. So here we go. All right, lots of good stuff built. And now the diplomacy. You'll remember we took some text to begin the game. Wanderer 100. Sorry, I misunderstood it. You meant to raise the farm and build a well there. Never thought of that possibility. Exactly. Move the well a little bit over. Exactly. We want players to understand what all these different things mean to them in the game. All right, Catherine. Oh, you do not have the technology I wanted. Somebody has physics. Who has physics? I specifically didn't go for physics. Cedric? Nobody has physics. Wait a minute. I should have showed you how to do the what they research settings. Nobody's got physics. Nobody's got any technology for any trade for. Whoops. I should have been researching physics. Maybe I'll change my mind. The Vestite's researching physics. All right, no trades. I thought I'd have some really cool trades going on there. But no trades yet. Well, let's see. Show space again. We want to create an alliance with the Ducados? Maybe we consider the Al-Malik our main enemies. Let's see. Yeah, it was faster to get to Istakar, so maybe we'll consider the Al-Malik our main threat. So I think we're going to be considering the Al-Malik a threat. Let's try an ally right off the bat with the Ducados. We'd have to go through the Hawkwood anyway to evade them, so it's unlikely we're going to be invading them anytime soon. So, Nikolai, my good friend. I will not say what his nickname in our Discord is. I would like an alliance with you. And I'll give you technology. How do you not have microbiology? I'll give you that. I'll give you a planet map for Byzantium Secundus. It probably is meaningless, but it could be something. Yeah, let's do that. See if he takes it. I don't think so. We'll see. Looks like I am the only one with tech. I wonder, because I've had them start on the basic level. They should all have tech. Oh well.
Message sent.
That's good diplomacy for now. The house screen. Yes, we are losing money already. We need to increase. We're not skimming the tithe. We can decrease our unit pay. That's always risky when you're at war. They lose loyalty when you do that. Let's try it. Do that and just a notch more tax money. Ooh, 10 loyalty lost. Ooh. Alright, we might have rebellions early. Religious rebellions, tax rebellions, all kinds. We will see. Let's end turn and find out. This could be a risky game already. Here we go. Alright. No alliance yet. Map info. Wow. I'll take your Aragon info. Absolutely. Not the smartest move, Catherine, but I'll take it. Everybody's freighters are in movement over Holy Terra. That's funny. We'll come back to ours. Everybody's jumped from there to here. No, I'm tempted. They all have to go. I guess we're all going to Leakheim, maybe? No, they all, for the fastest way to most of their planets is the same route we're taking, which is to Rampart. I might let them go first. And if there's symbiotes along the way, they'll get eaten up. But then I'll follow the next turn, then the symbiotes will attack me. So that might not be the best. Anyway, we'll come back. We'll make a decision. All right. The rebels did not come out like I hoped. So let's advance on the rebels. See what we have in here. Oh, yeah, there's plenty. Oh, they're moving here. Ha, ha, ha. Smart. Smart, smart, smart. Another anti-air unit. Let's see if my cruiser can help me take that well. Not yet. And we used all our cruiser shots there. All right, let's see if there's anything at Daishan, shall we? That's a risky place to jump to. Not seeing any over there yet, so that's good. Just keep exploring. Keep exploring.
Unit spotted. Unit spotted.
All right.
Unit spotted.
Let's see. Do I want to bring all these troops right into this attack on the well? Probably. Probably. Let's do that. Straight on into the well. An overwhelming force, please. Overwhelming force, if you don't mind. All right. Get my assault landers out because they can't attack. We'll go and attack the ruins. This should be a nothing fight. Though there was an invisible unit in there. Ah, there was a port now. That did some damage to my tank. You might need to get that tank doing some healing right off the bat. I really like how asymmetric this starts in the game are. And I've seen how moddable the game is. It's kind of blown my mind with the sandbox. You can set up yourself in single player. Exactly. That's what we're trying to do today. Make a game that's more repressive church, low tech, and hopefully more espionage. But some of the unit changes didn't change through. I'm going to have to change that for the next time. One of the advantages of having both the GOG install as well as the Steam versions, I can muck about with mods on GOG without worrying about screwing up either my LP. Hey, come back, chat. What'd you do? All right, let's see. So we've got one anti-tank gun. Great. Looks like I need to attack it with tanks. Shoot, I should have bombarded that with my last shot. You should have no problem. I hate attacking. I mean, anti-tank guns are made. I got 2 smiters in there. Let's assault. There we go. Take it out before that could even shoot me. Having the GOG installs those Steam versions, I can muck about with mods on our GOG without worrying about screwing up either my LP or the upcoming MP game. Single player or multiplayer. Or long play for LP. Imperialis, now the big question is, if I get my external CD drive and install my original copy, I'll be able to update that to 152. Let me know how that goes for you. I'm not trying that. And Don Sna says, yeah, battle mode, that's totally what I'm getting into. All right. All right. So, we have 4 tanks here. Got a bulk hauler going up in space. Got a bulk hauler coming back down. Got a bulk hauler picking up 4 tanks. Hey, one of them's elite. That smiter has turned elite already. That is good to see. Let's get you back up into space. All right, Tiger Lily. Still a Greyhound. Whoa, whoa, that is a rebel stack and a half. There's the ruins we expected to be there. We're still way out. There's probably a lot. Oh boy, that is a real rebel stack. Oh boy. Look at that. We want to get away from them. Right now, they could just come attack me and wipe out my little scout tank. We need to back up a little bit. So let's get to backing up, shall we? Going to continue moving my AA gunner along. Now we know there's a ruin up there. That AA gun coming for the ruins. Let's see. I think we're going to put our anti-tank guns and artillery back in the... oh, hey, we got an elite artillery now. That's what we like to see. Put both of these into space. Bring them down next turn. This medium tank is going to move into the well because it needs... I didn't mean to move both of them into the well. Shoot. I'm going to move the officer corps to come down and attack. But, hey. He had to make sure the tank did what it was supposed to do. Very loyal officer, making sure everything's being done right. That's my commissar. Soviet World War II commissar, not anyone else's commissar. Don Sna, making my own custom game and looking at the tools to do so. It's so flexible and easy once you get going. Love to hear that. Looking forward to what you create. Definitely looking forward to it. All right. Keep that noble going, even though we got that rebel stack coming. We're going to need that noble leading that force. And probably want that infantry to protect that noble. So everybody on the move. Okay, let's get all of you into the shield, shall we? Nice stack here, heading on. Nice stack here, heading on. Nice stack here, heading on. Got that infantry protecting. Move my noble on along. Don't see anyone yet. This is a risky having the noble lead from the front. That's why it's risky to have a noble lead from the front. But they can't reach me this turn. They got to go through here and here. I don't want to go any further than that, though. That's for sure. Yeah, pull my noble back. Whatever. Alright, now we need to decide what we're doing with my Holy Terra. Everybody over here in Holy Terra. Alright, fine. We're just continuing along. Just playing continuing along. We want that unit on our assault on Gwyneth eventually, so let's go. Whoop. And let's see. League over Rampart, of course. Historically, in the classic EFS game, the one that's in the books, Rampart was a League planet that the Li Halan conquered in the historical map game. I don't think I'm taking Rampart this game. Maybe. Be a fun goal. Be a fun goal. What does rank 0 mean? Alright, well, let's talk about combat and all that. Let's go find one of my combat stacks. Down here on Kish. Oi, let's look at theirs. So you see, units have ranks, right? That's where they are in the fight. So this is, artillery is way in the back. You go 1 to 9. 8 is way in the back. The officers lead, not completely from the front, but close. 6 rank, not from the front. They're giving commands from the back. Anti-tank gun, also rank 8. I thought we gave them a higher one. Rank 4, up front. Those those peasant levies, those militia, right up front. So most weapons when they attack are gonna have to go through the militia first. Then they'll get to that officer. Oh, smiters in 5. Then they get to the smiter, the mobile artillery. Then to the officer. Then to these rank 8 units. On the other hand, there's some units like spies and assassins that go straight to rank 6 and avoid all these and just start killing officers and nobles. So if you look over here, let's go down to my stack over here. The engineer is rank 7. The infantry is rank 4, so you got to go through that first. And then the noble is way in the back at rank 8. So if a spy came through, they'd be attacking the engineer before they attack the noble. Lower the rank, more likely to be targeted. I had a fight where it was ignored. The atmosphere fighter was not attacked. If it doesn't have anti-air, I mean, the noble has air combat abilities. The engineer has no ability to attack air units, so an engineer could not attack. I mean, these guys do good damage in close combat, but they can't fight air. Yep. Flat cannon will do great against air. Engineer, nothing. Nada. So they have to have air capabilities to fight against air units. Alright, we're still trying to see how our money's doing. We're still a little bit low on money. Don't tell anybody. We're skimming the tithe. We're going to have some religious rebellion soon, aren't we? Oh, I know another way to make money. We should be selling our technologies, to be honest, but we also have the vow, and guess what? I do not know why she gave us the map of Aragon, but she did, so we're selling that. The vow, we're starting to get more interested in humanity. Hey, Catherine, I'm sorry I just sold out your planet. Oh, wait, you have technology. Let's get those physics. Absolutely. And I'll give you technology, microbiology.
Message sent.
Hey, Nikolai, I've got a deal for you now. Give me an alliance with you, and I'll give you technology. Whoa, now they don't want any of my technologies. They have technologies. I guess it took I'm going to have to check on that. They had to actually start their turns before they knew what technology they had. That's not good. I have no technology now that you want. That's why they refused my offer from before. Let's change our vote. Let's clear this. I mean, let's change our diplomacy. Give me votes at the next election. And I'll give you a ministry if I'm elected. I'll give you the Stigmata Garrison. I'll give you the map of Aragon.
Message sent.
Cedric, I bet, has physics. Yeah. Yeah, we'll see if we get him from the Hazat first. Sure. Keen, do you have any technology? No. Okay. All right. Things are happening. Worried about my money, but selling that map helped, and we'll get some more cities quickly. We just took the well. That's going to help. We should be building something in the well. We've got yeah, absolutely. Build an engineer in the well. We've got stuff. Not what I wanted. Go back to the well. Build engineer in the well. Yes. All right, end turn. Done all our building. You don't want to buy anything from the league right now. How are we doing on food? Eating 166, harvesting 167. We are kind of getting by. Need to get another farm pretty quickly. All right, so end turn. Factories boost the anti-air unit. Yay! Let's get a tank killer. We don't have any tank killers yet. Build. Artillery on Kish. I think we got good artillery now. I'm going to pull back on that. Oh, physics tech from microbiology. Thank you, Catherine. Pleasure doing business with you. Rejected the vote saying, all right, so we got to do a better deal for Nikolai. How difficult is the AI to mod? There are ways to mod the AI. I should have shown you that. Things like the diplomacy. I showed that at the beginning. Whether or not they'll make deals with you, whether they'll go to war with you faster. All of that. Yes, the actual FSM stuff is hard-coded. But yeah, all those behaviors you can modify. How quickly they go to war with you. All those things. Dear Inquisition, you'll never guess what Andrew did today. Thanks, Don. Tattling on me already. Appreciate it. Oh, microbiology tech for 500 Firebird. We should be telling our tech we need those monies. All right, nothing over Daishan. That's good. We should feel tempted to make a swing by Istakar, but really we need to get... We're going to combine our forces at Midian. Yay, our escorts will be there. Whoa, lots of league stuff. Church and league. I just thought I saw both. I guess it's just church. Oh, that's Rampart. Here we go. Oh my gosh, that's a huge league fleet. Whoa. Look at all those goodies. What's in the church fleet? Whoa. Lots of interest in Midian. Midian, oh Midian. Have you met Midian? All right, but now I've got an escort. Those frigates aren't a great escort, but they are an escort, and that's very helpful. All right. Uh-oh, where do those rebels go? We wanted to attack those rebels. Huh. Move my Greyhound slowly. Where did those rebels go? Did they make it all the way back in? Oh man, they made it back into their city. Shoot. I hope they didn't go into the ruins, thankfully. I hope they didn't go in the ruins.
Unit spotted.
Yeah, there's that smiter we saw in the officer. Okay. Alright, that's bad. I didn't want them to be in a mine in the mountains for me to have to flush them out, but we'll flush them out. Start bombarding. Ooh, lots of stuff. Holy cow. This is going to take a fight. Please get the smiter out of the fight. Thank you very much. Yup, that ain't good. I don't like doing this, but I'm going to launch my bulk hauler into the mountains here to get that mine next turn. Yeah, not much damage. I was afraid we'd take a lot more. I'm going to leave the bulk hauler there, actually. I was going to move it, but let's put this up in space. We'll bring those down. We're going to bring more reinforcements to attack that way. You might ask why I'm coming in the mountains instead of down the road. I'm not going to be able to get many of these units here along the road in time to engage. But this way, if they retreat, it's much easier to capture any of the retreating units. Big stack there, yep. There's a like value, Imperialis says. Still a random roll involved, exactly. Always a random element in much of this. We talked about when the League would declare the Third Republic. It's anywhere, the default settings are anywhere between when they get 300,000 and 500,000 Firebirds in their war chest. So we can look here right now and see they've only got 4,541, so it's a long way off. You can move that further away, 999,000 Firebirds if you want, and make it hard for them to declare the Third Republic, or push it down to 100,000, and yeah, you'll be battling the League very early in the game. That's a whole different game. Fun as well. All right. We know that there are 2 units we haven't spotted in there yet, so I don't want to just attack with this force. I want to bring a noble or an officer along. So that's what I've got those, got the assault landers for. So I'm going to move my infantry here. My officer, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nope. Officers are great for protecting nobles, as you saw. They're just a rank in front of them. Alright, I'm going to bring back down my 2 assault landers, and next turn they can bring this group into the fray. Alright, still engaged in my war on Fog of War.
Unit spotted.
Gonna leave the bulk hauler there to carry these off next turn. Well, no, because I'm going to need to bring all these troops over to the ruins, won't I? So I might as well get my bulk hauler out of here. Yeah, everyone just come along the road. Take the bulk hauler up, land it in my shield, let it do some healing, and pick up some of these troops for next turn. Might be time to start moving on towards that next planet. Yeah, this fight's going well. I'm tempted to make the attack now, but I really would want an officer in this stack before I did it. So we'll wait a turn. And that Tiger Lily's going to run away in case any of those... I'm sorry, not Tiger Lily. My Scout Train, my Greyhound will run away. Just in case any of those folks want to come after me. Any of those rebels want to come after me. Alright, you are healing up nice and quickly. That's good. Time to bring you down into the fray. You get there, you can get there next turn. Sure. Absolutely. You did some... Whoops! Clicked the wrong place. That officer's drunk, I think. I have not been moving that officer very well. Wow, good crowd on YouTube. Thank you all for joining us. Great having you all here. Ah, my self-propelled. I want that in this attack on the ruins. So let's get moving. That's good. Yep. Let's move you into the shield. Take you off in the bulk hauler next turn. Alright, so we've got the engineer. Those rebels went away too. Alright, so engineer. Get you building that road. Can't do more this turn. Got a noble with an infantry. Definitely keeping them together now. Let's see if they spot. No spotting. They've gone back into the city too. What do they got in that farm? We need that farm. They got an anti-tank gun. Alright. We'll have enough units to take care of it pretty quickly. That engineer continuing to build that road. Noble with its infantry escort. No, we're not done. Diplomacy. Catherine. Gonna be a nice friend of mine. Technology. I would like energy physics, please. And I'll give you technology. Hospitals.
Message sent.
Nikolai, give me. You don't have any technology. I'm still wanting your votes. I'm probably gonna have to get those Hazat votes. So let's try one more time with you. Give all votes. And I'll give you technology. Physics. I'll give you a planet map. Aragon. I'll give you a ministry. Stigmata. Let's do that. Alright. I think you're hearing the space kitties mewing at you. You want to go and attack the stream, Space Kitty? Space Kitty for the attack! Alright, that's a heck of an offer for Nikolai. Nikolai should take that offer. Alright, Cedric. Give me technology mega chassis, because I'm looking for the Hazat to give me the other, and I'll give you technology pharmaceuticals. Now let's give away hospitals there as well. Planet map Aragon. Everybody knows what Aragon looks like.
Message sent.
Akeem, you have any tech yet? No, why don't you give me money? Give me money. How much money do you have? You don't have a huge amount. Let's say 554. And I'll give you technology. Physics.
Message sent.
And Val, I'm back. I got another map for you. The Zantium Secundus. 1008. Oh, heck yeah. That's what we needed. Let's go on a buying spree. Time to hold our noses again. Time to hold our noses again. Space Kitty for Emperor. EBM, it's great how much attention EFS has been getting. Love the streaming. That's been great. YouTube algorithm is promoting EFS at the moment. My first video is close to 15,000 views. Wow. I rarely get numbers like that. That's very impressive. I've been really impressed at how many the trailer got on my channel. Like 16,000 views over, or 1,600 views overnight. I've got some videos with a lot of views. Will Wright speaking, Nolan Bushnell, Chris Zukowski. But that was very impressive for overnight. French YouTuber was streaming something. D100, I think. Was it Do 1D100? Wanderer asks, only an officer can enter a lone stacker city? What do you mean? Only an officer can enter a lone stacker city. You can send any, if you conquer a city, any of your units can enter it. Alright, more diplomacy happening, cool stuff happening everywhere. I think we moved all our units. So let's go ahead and end turn. I'm very fortunate that that freighter made it to... no energy physics for hospitals. Oh well. Still, no Nikolai deal. Mega chassis for hospitals and map of Aragon. 0554 for physics. Oh well. Alright, we know we want to do more shelling here, so let's do a little more shelling. Shell that mine. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in there. That, oh boy, that was a weak shelling. At least take out that one artillery. All right. Those are probably partisan units. And partisan units are more dangerous than you'd think. Yay, frigate escorting my power legions. I was sweating that one. I was sweating that one. One of the scary things about random maps is suddenly you'll find enemy rebel spaceships in the weirdest places, symbiote spaceships in the weirdest places. You really need to escort. You can't accept that any of the space lanes are safe. All right, we got more reinforcements coming, so we're not moving that stack yet. Tiger Lily, the Greyhound will wait on as well. What do we want to move in this attack? Yeah, we don't need the AA gun in that one. Be nice to have my officer. Yeah, alright, I like this. Alright, so here's what we're going to do. We have 2 of these. I'm actually going to put infantry on one, officer on one, infantry in another, noble on it. I'm going to keep driving my Wolfen along. Alright, so you all shoot up. You all land. The noble and officer bonuses don't stack, but the officer is good protection for your noble. And as you know, I'm going to be risking my nobles quite a bit in this game. So let's do this attack. Noble, you say I got the noble bonus is not officer bonus. He has officer bonus. Whoa! Infantry dead. Infantry down. Tank down. I did not expect to do that badly. Oh boy. Well, very glad I brought that extra protection. Ah, noble's got no experience. Gotta change that. Gotta change that. Alright, all of you with 7 movement. Let's get you heading towards that ruins. I'm going to build a garrison out here. We're out in the nowhere hinterlands, so we want a militia legion to keep an eye on things. Ah, a lot of good conversations going on. I guess it does. Stats' video did really well. Andrew's regular streams, and then a bunch of other people did videos. Congratulations! You've received 100 messages today. Battle mode. I think people are crying out for some alternative strategy games right now. Good, Doug. Glad to hear. I mean, obviously as a dedicated strategy gamer, I love the stuff that's out there, but there's always more to do. Nikolai's too busy polishing his nipple rings to worry about diplomatic dealings. The game is great. Many people compare it to Shadow Empire. Thank you. Playing right now as I listen. Nikitas, I love it. Yeah, I love playing a game and watching a stream at the same time. Is there anything sadder than a morph dive bomber retreating over water? Oh no, no capturing it. When you have an Imperial Eye and you conquer a city, you cannot enter there with your own army. But an officer... No, okay. When you get control of one of the Imperial factions, the Eye, the Fleet, or the Sigmata Garrison, they remain their own entity. The noble doesn't get what they conquer. They get it. Now, there is an exception for units in ruins, relics and like. But if you send the Sigmata Garrison to conquer a city, it belongs to the Sigmata Garrison from then on. You can't move any of your own units in there. You can only move that office's units in. Now, what you can do when you no longer have that office is declare war on whatever house gets it, and then conquer those cities. But if you control an office that has conquered a fief, you cannot move your own units in, only that office's units. Did that make sense, Wanderer? Again, the whole idea is those don't actually belong to you. You are obviously you are supposed to represent humanity, not your house, when you use these. Of course, you can still take the Stigmata Garrison off and invade another planet, which is probably going to happen in this game. You're not supposed to, but you can. Alright, back here. Load up my assault landers again. Shoot them up into space so they attack on the ruins next turn. You are coming to join the attack on the ruins. Couldn't believe I did lose armor and infantry that last time around. Boy, you can't get up there this time. We'll take you into the main and load you on a bulk collar at some point. There's that SP. Self-propelled. Man, I wish I built a road here. That's slowing me down. But we'll take care of it. We'll get there fast enough. Bulk collar! Oh wait, we want to do down here first. Let's do this. Okay, so
Unit spotted.
I think there's an anti-tank gun in there. I don't think I shelled it out of existence yet, so I think
Unit spotted.
tempted to take a risk. Oh boy. No, if I had an artillery, I would take this risk, but I don't have an artillery in this group. I could have an artillery in this group. Of course, I've got the bolt collar. Completely forgot about that. Heck yeah. Bolt collar. Artillery, artillery. Anti-tank gun. Ooh, experienced militia. Yeah, put someone else in there to defend the noble. You up, bring you down. Oops. Land here. That bolt collar is pretty good at crash landings. How does towing work in this, by the way? All right, let's show you how towing works. So, can be towed. Can tow units that can be towed. So, now I gotta remember how it works. Haven't done it in a while since we redid it. Let me try something real quick. See if I remember. Do this to here. Bring it back. Yeah, that's it. See, it's got no movement, and you're able to tow it. If you bring them together, and you've got a unit with 0 movement, with a group that they can tow and has movement, it moves it around. Not something we do heavily in the base game, but modders really wanted that functionality, and that's why it's in there. Thanks for asking, Battle Mode. Battle Mode, want to play more, but time is hard to find for playing other games. When I first played Shadow Empire, I saw the similarities. I'm doing some work for Vic Riker at the moment, helping on the manual. Excellent. Ask him about this, and he's well aware of it. That he really wants to play more, but time is hard to find for playing other games. I can appreciate that when you're working on your own game. You got to do it. It's one of those things when you're working in games, playing games can start seeming too much like work, but you got to stay up with the cool stuff that's out there. So, all right. Anyway, we've got folks who can explore here, so let's keep folks moving. I want to get, let's go for some exploring. Let's get you back up here. Got a good attack force here, so let's do an attack. Bulk collar out. Do this normal. I don't want to risk my noble. Oh, there's a port now in there. Oh boy, militia already dead. Infantry already dead. Ooh, 2 infantry, 2 militia retreated. That's why you always need someone to exploit, like I said, and that's what the noble's good for. Like I said, nobles are natural at exploiting. All right. Let's get you back here to the bulk collar. Let's load up that bulk collar. Noble in a bulk collar, artillery in a bulk collar, artillery in a bulk collar, anti-tank gun in a bulk collar, bulk collar into... Oops, let's get the anti-tank gun that's got no movement left in the bulk collar. Move all of you into space. Move that anti-tank gun up this way. Alright. We know we want to come over here. We got to build farms over there. You want to keep exploring with these guys. They're kind of far away from everybody else now, sure. They're going to move slowly. Alright, get the scout tank. Scout tank scouting. Whoops. Alright. Not ending the turn yet. Oh, goodness. That's already been 90 minutes of streaming. Do a little bit more. All right. Diplomacy. All right. Catherine. Give me votes at the next election. And I'll sign an alliance with you. Give you technology. Alien psychology. And give you a ministry if I'm elected Stigmata Garrison.
Message sent.
Cedric, do you have any technology I want? Give me. Yes, you do. Technology. Energy physics. And I'll give you technology. Alien psychology. And give you a planet map. Whoops. Give you planet map of Byzantium Secundus.
Message sent.
Akeem, you gotta want some technology. Come on. Give me money. Oh, you don't have much money. That's probably the problem. And I'll give you technology. Psychosocial engineering.
Message sent.
Nikolai, let's make a deal. Give me money. You ain't got no money. Okay, never mind. Try another votes. Votes at the next election. Have I ever given you Aragon? I probably have. We'll do it again. Give you technology. Ooh. Physics. And ministry if I'm elected. Imperial fleet to the Dakotas. Ooh, danger, danger.
Message sent.
All right, let's see what happens. Oh, wait. We got some money. No, we don't have a lot of money, do we? We're still kind of scraping on by. I should have done one of the things that gives you extra money. Not good. Not good. But all I need is 23 more metal. I'm starting to risk my food, aren't I? Building all those engineers takes money, takes food. But probably, how's food collection out here? Not that great. In the ruins, I can build 30 food. How's food collection down here? I'm already getting it all. I need to scout to find more food out there and up there. Oh, wait a minute. I should be putting a farm up here, shouldn't I? Nope. Nope. All right. So that's probably my best next place for food. So, 23 metal. 23 metal. I could have done this more quickly that way. There we go. Purchase. And then open the mine, build. Oops. I'll build it next turn. Whoops. I can build an engineer somewhere else. Why? I sweat it. I'm building engineers up here, I know. Build an engineer in the fort. Absolutely. All right. Good enough. Now we can end turn.
House Lee Halal.
You can still bribe the Republic for peace. That's right. That's right. The Third Republic, basically, though, if you're bribing them, what you have to remember is that you are admitting that the Third Republic's allowed to exist, even with you as Emperor, and the whole endgame cinematics talk about that. And symbiotics are just much stronger. Which of the big crisis events is most threatening in the base game? Vow, Symbiote, Third Republic. The symbiotes are meant to come in early in game. Rebellions are meant to be pretty threatening, to be honest, if you're not handling it well. Famine and plague are devastating if you don't handle them well. Those are crisis events to deal with. Of the ones you mentioned, Vow, Symbiote, or Third Republic, Symbiote's meant to come in early. When you're not, and so often you're not really prepared for them. You're in a better position when the Vow and Merchant League come in on hand. Zanzibar 3. Had a thought for multiplayer. Requires a non-player broker with a role before the game starts. All players submit a change to one EFS parameter. Broker applies them and settles collisions. Oh, absolutely. I mean, there are all sorts of various suggested rules for multiplayer, some of which you can enforce through the modding and the EFS I&I file. So by all means, do that. Hey, mine built a militia. I ain't gonna need to buy 24 metal before I can build an engineer out there, so nothing. Engineers! Getting my first engineers! Yay! Alright, fine. I'll build a militia out there. Nah, no militia out there yet. I'll come back for that. Engineer! Yay! Tank killer! Yeah, I can save my metal for another engineer. Engineer! Yay! Engineer! Yay! Ah, nobody's giving me their votes. I thought I'm making some good deals here. At least I got energy physics. Hospitals tech for 1740. Thank you, Catherine. All right, time to start my assault on Gwyneth. Tempted to start it on Daishan, but at least there's nobody else there yet. Okay, what haven't I taken? Oh, yeah. We're still going for those ruins over here. So let's get that ruin attack. Won't happen this turn. Will happen next turn. Gonna build up a good-sized force here. Gonna get you all to start hoofing it over. Yep. Yeah, I definitely want an engineer over here for that food. Alright, let's buy those 23... Heck, let's buy 123 metal. We just got all that money from the Hazat. Yep, that's good. Let's build 2 more engineers. So let's build an engineer out here. And we'll decide somewhere else for an engineer. You'll go on garrison duty. How's the Lihalan Redemption going? They are a Vestite, Jukalo. Plagues are no joke. Thank you very much. Reduce micromanagement. Is it possible to automate spaceship loading the same way as naval ones? There's been discussion about that. We'll see. Yep, the Ben Extractor is a very useful tool. All right, building up our force here. So we're not going to be ready to attack the ruins this turn. We're waiting for reinforcements to come around. Now let's see how the food is over here. Oh yeah, that's much nicer. Yeah, not tremendous. That 30 on the ruins is still the best place for food. Interesting. Okay. All right. Now, I talked before about that juicy choice. Do I move my farm up here and move this well over here in order to collect more stuff? I'm not going to do it yet. I need to be building up my base resources before I tear those apart. But that stinks because there's so much more energy you could get if you did that. I mean, that resource is a whole lot. But I don't feel ready. I need more metal and food right now. I was going to build an energy collector over here. Yeah, I can't risk the food yet. Cannot risk the food yet. Tempted to bring my engineer down here to start finishing off this road. Maybe have him build that farm on the ruins. Sure. Let's get you coming down. All right. Yep. You're going to be part of the attack next turn. Not yet. You are definitely metal. So let's start heading up here. All right, self-propelled. That's going to be a good one. You definitely want that for the ruins. Put you in the shield. Oh, that metal. Yeah, I apparently need to buy 1 more metal. Oops. Oh, I don't have enough food. Yeah, I might hold off on that for this turn. Hold off on my tank killer for now. Come back to that. Should I build a lab or electronics? I've got a lot of energy coming in. I want to start building planes. So, I'm going to come down here and build my first electronics factory. Like I said, it's going to be a technology scarce game. Okay. All can go that way. All right. There's food up here somewhere. No, there isn't. Shoot. Again, then you have the question. This is what I talked about. The Lihalan is a learning one for people. If I were to move this mine over here, I still collect these 3 major resource places. And then I can come up here and farm these. That's really what I should have done. I need that farm over here. All right, lots of farmland over here, though, so we'll get them moving. I am tempted to do that. Trouble is I need 2 engineers. One to raise and rebuild this mine, and one to build the farm over here. So, yep, more engineers are coming. Worry about it later. Move you in and sentry you. We'll go scout around with this guy. Any good food places? Oh, 53 food, heck yeah. Now we need to get that 1 metal so we can build an engineer there. Alright, you're scouting. Ooh, Exotica. Yum, yum. You're building the road. Moving all of you folks along. You to join that stack. You to come... Well, you can scout over this way, can't you? More war on Fog of War. You should go to the well and take the well and farm up north. Yep, got him. First thing. Wanderer... What did I miss? I missed a bunch of good chat. Sorry about that. Tank killers are great in this game. I agree. I mean, again, a lot of this, there's some good World War II analogies in this game. And one thing about World War II, the U.S., when they built the Shermans as mainly troop support, anti-tank vehicles, tank killers were supposed to be the ones taking on the Tigers and Panthers, not the Shermans. Shermans weren't designed that until you have the Fireflies come around. So, kind of the same idea in this game. You get tank killers in there against the tanks. You can do pretty well. Alright here. Yep. Let's land. More troops to go after the ruins up here. Oops. That's becoming a decent... With all of these troops coming along, that'll be a decent ruin cracker. We'll leave the assault landers here to take troops away next turn. Yeah, I'm almost tempted to do it this turn, but I really want that officer to protect the noble, that infantry to protect the noble, and that extra AA unit before we go in. So, we'll come back. Cruiser's got nobody to shoot, does he? I've taken care of all the... Yay, the planet is... All agree that Chikao is the way to go. Lihalan united. And Gwyneth will now be a Lihalan planet. Alright, so taking all of these to Gwyneth. Next turn we'll begin the liberation of Gwyneth. Well, you're not going to take part in that attack anytime soon. So I built a lovely tank killer with nothing for it to do. Get some extra protection out here. Maybe? Sure. Do not end the turn yet. You got diplomacy to do. Catherine, Catherine, Catherine. Give me votes at the next election. What can I give you? And I'll give you planet map. Byzantium Secundus. I guess they all want money. Everybody's money short in this game. I have money to give. How much do I have? Man, I don't have enough to give. Back to technology. Maybe you'll take meditation? And that ministry, if I'm elected, I'll give you stigmata. That's a heck of an offer. Go back to trying to make an alliance with Nikolai. I mean, alliance with you. And I'll give you technology. Mega chassis. That's a pretty valuable one. You'll see.
Message sent.
Akeem, come on, give me some money. Now you got money. Now you'll make a deal. Come on. I'll give you technology. Hey, you want my techs? Let's do this. Give you hospitals.
Message sent.
Someone else paid me $1,700 for my hospitals. Why don't you want my hospitals? All right. House, I think we're doing okay on money. Not well, but okay. Haven't had the rebellions. I thought I'd have some rebellions already. Thought I'd have rebellions already. Yeah, not buying that one metal develop scout unit. Need more food. Cannot risk famine. Cannot risk famine. Random map, Yuklo, that's right. Yeah, all the units have traits. That's right, battle mode. All the units have traits. All right. Let's see. We're 2 hours into the stream. I do want to crack that ruins and land on Gwyneth. So, you can do one more turn. That's always it. Isn't that always the way? One more turn. One more turn. All right. I got to send off one message before I do that. I forgot. Supposed to have a 5 o'clock call. Send out a message to let folks know that will be a 5:30 call. Sorry. Put on the hold music if you'd be so kind. Okay. All right. And turn. Let's do one more turn.
House Lee Halal.
Okay. Engineer. None. Rejected the terms again. Nobody. Alright, they gave me some money at least. I think I got robbed on that one. Alright, Gwyneth. Landing on Gwyneth. What we got? Oh boy. Oh boy. This is a built up random icy Arctic planet. This is kind of dangerous. There's a lot of stuff happening here. I do not want to go straight for the heart of it. Let's start up here. Should I go for the mine or the farm? We need food right now. I should have done one of the bonuses to give myself more food. Alright, dropping the freighter. Now, one of the things on random maps, you don't know where their planet to space guns might be. Well, it's not there, thankfully. Oh, Exotica. Hey, hey. Ooh, a merchant, an engineer, artillery? Wow, interesting world. Already got some Exotica there. Let's scout by orbital bombardment, shall we? Alright. This will be an easy one. I like it. Nice. Yeah. Okay. Let's land the bulk hauler. No, not yet. Sorry. Gonna attack with the power legions. Should be an easy attack. Yep, a merchant and an engineer. We just destroyed this nice little culture of civilization. Mr. Bootycap, are you on Universal Food? Yes, because we're doing random map. I decided I would use Universal Warehouse on. That was my debate for this game. If I went Universal Warehouse off and did historical or random and had the map, had that on. Engineer early game, good find. Yeah, but I couldn't exactly capture it. Yeah. Ooh, lots of good resources here.
Unit spotted.
Another farm. Yeah, this will solve my food issues. Oh boy, that farm's a little better defended. Let's pull back a little bit, shall we? Build a... start with a militia, just in case. Sentry those. The freighter up in space and over to Kish. Still exploring Byzantium Secundus.
Unit spotted. Unit spotted.
Alright, now we are ready for the ruin. Okay. Drop out the assault landers. I'm worried about my noble. I should have more infantry in this fight. If I lose the noble, it is my own fault. But that is a decent force to crack the ruins. Let's go. Oh yeah. Simple rebel stack. That anti-tank gun did some damage to me, but that went pretty easily. Alright. And now we transition to the tabletop role-playing game as the nobles explore the ruins. What do they find? Dum 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 dum. 183 points of chemicals. Well, that was useless. I don't mind having chemicals, but wow. Could have been so much better. Alright, so... Oh, hey! Go that way. Okay, let's get more troops heading toward... heading toward Gwyneth. I know I want more infantry to protect my noble that's there. But I also want... yeah, anti-air. Let's take this smiter. Good group. Let's get all of you flying to Gwyneth. Yeah, let's put all of you in the mine. Get some healing over there. And that way my bulk hauler and freighter can just start picking folks up out of there. Moving them on to Gwyneth. Alright. What are we looking like for metal accumulation now? 46 still looks like my best. I get any trace out of this? A little bit. Okay, let's go back there and build that mine. It'll build pretty nicely. Let's get a militia in there as well. And don't really need it, but sure. Build militia. There are Vestites. They increase the Vestite flock. That's a good thing to have. Alright, you were coming down to build this road. Oh, I should have built that road. Whoops. Alright, we know there's metal out here, so let's go start building a road to get some more metal. It's gonna sit there, wait for pickup. Alright, we were exploring with you, weren't we? Let's build some more road and then explore. We know we want to build a food in this 34 point because that also gets the Exotica. So Oh, hey, there's the ruins. Figured there'd be something out there. All right, let's see here. Got troops coming along. We really want to see where we're building that food. Oh, 37. So we'll build here and get that exotica. All right, that's good to know. So you are going there. All right, got you folks coming out for the ruins. You're just exploring around. Am I building an engineer in here yet? Nope. We know down there we have food. I guess the engineer needs to come out this way. We got more food up there to collect, so let's keep her coming along. All right, you are explorating. Now we have all of you heading toward our ruins. Yay! Bulk hauler. Land in the farm. Unload. Send all these troops up with the Power Legion. Leave them there. He's got some good protection. The noble's got some good protection now. Probably Chikao herself. Chikao? Yes, Chikao herself. We'll say that because that's been the most combat so far. We'll say that until that noble dies. Juggalo, I gotta say, I'm rather suspicious of the Vow's inexhaustible interest in maps of the known worlds. Exactly! You don't want to give them too much information about humanity. My biggest problem play this back in the day was how few resources you would get. So you'd have to mine practically the whole planet. Understood. I think the relics... No, relics work when Theurgy turns on. Exactly. Theurgy turns on the relic. Exactly. Yep. If you don't understand your religion, you're not going to be able to use the toys. Alright, Bulk Caller, you are heading over to Kish to pick up more units. Still got a cruiser. Attack. So still some hidden units there. Ooh, uh-oh. We need AA. That's a dive bomber. That's a dive bomber. We need some AA. Quickly. Quickly. And I'm actually going to move my frigates to continue escorting my freighter. Just in case. Alright, last bit of diplomacy. Catherine, oh Catherine. Maybe I'll get an alliance from you. I don't want your alliance, but hey, I'll try it. Give you technology. Alien psychology. Byzantium Secundus. And appreciate it.
Message sent.
Nikolai, what can I do to get your votes? Give me votes at the next election. Okay, and I'll give you technology. Let's go for energy physics. I'll give you a ministry if I'm elected. Imperial fleet. Money. How much money do I have? I guess I got a little bit of money. 500 money. See if you'll take it.
Message sent.
I guess I should start asking Cedric and Hakeem. Actually, they're how I get more money, by selling them technologies. How much money does Hakeem have? Give me money. Yeah, he's not giving me money if he doesn't have it. Yep. Not enough money to be given away. Like I said, this is going to be a... Yeah, I just say give me 469 fireworks. Let's see if he does it. Cedric. How much money do you have? 520. I'll... You microbiology? No. Hey, yeah, microbiology. Let's do that.
Message sent.
Okay. All right. Kish. We could buy another 35. I think we're doing okay on food now. Yeah. It gets 35 more metal. Gora trade. Oh, no metal. Ruh-roh. Metal shortage. All right, guess we're not building an engineer this turn. All right, we're in good stead. I'm going to end this turn, and then we'll see where we are for the next turn. That'll be it for the day. Let's see. Sheldon's suspicious how many Firebirds the Vow happen to have. Yeah, for a group that doesn't trade with humans. How'd they get all those Firebirds? Should send an expedition to their homeworld. Find out. Once I got tired of the church telling me what I could do research, I took over the Holy Terra. The Henry VIII plan. Sure sign the game will be a good one and will be well supported. Level utterly engrossed. Andrew is his own game here. Well, there was an update today, so go check it out with the new tooltip. I've not been showing off the tooltips. Goodness gracious. I don't think I have been. I've downloaded my own update. If you can't enjoy your own game, you're doing game dev wrong. That is very true. All right. How are we doing on money? Good enough. Let's end the game, end the turn, and see where we are with the next turn. And, yep, let's end turn. See where we are next turn. Okay, Pranabindu, finally research Pranabindu. Yeah, Tracker Legion. You knew that was coming. Militia Legion on Kish. I want the engineer here, I think. Well, I want the engineer everywhere, to be honest. Not sure where I want my engineer. Come back to that. Yeah, I probably want the engineer over here. Engineer on Gwyneth. Come back and build here later. Yes! An alliance, finally! Gosh, what I had to give Catherine for an alliance. Alright, and no votes from Nikolai. No Firebirds for microbiology. No Firebirds for nothing. Energy physics for 1380. Okay, Nikolai. 1380 for energy physics. Everybody likes my energy physics all of a sudden. And I'll do one bit of diplomacy before I jump off. See, now we know how much money Catherine has, what her taxes are, how much she's paying, all that stuff. That's what an alliance gives you. Give me votes at the next election. They should like me a little bit more now that I'm their ally. I'll give you technology, pharmaceuticals. I'll give you a ministry if I'm elected, the stigmatic garrison. And I'll even give you a planet map of Gwyneth. Let's see how that does. All right. Okay, so. Man, I do want to play this next turn, but I got other stuff I got to happen today. Hate to end it this early. Good crowd. Good crowd. Appreciate everybody here. Thanks for everyone who's been joining us on Steam as well. Hope you enjoyed seeing the modding tools, discussion of the game, discussion of the new update. Oh boy, I really do want to pick up my units and start flying them over to Gwyneth to continue that attack. Let's see what I'm getting up here. All right, let's scout a little bit of Gwyneth. Come on. What could go wrong? Oh yeah. I still need a freaking anti-air unit over here, don't I? Oh boy. Oh no. Woo! Strat bomber and dive bomber. Trouble is they're way too Oh, I have AA. Yay. That's a lot of air. I really wish I had an atmosphere fighter here. They're way too agile. Oh, I did hit it. Yeah, they're way too agile for my cruiser to be doing much good with. Shoot. All right. Saving the game. Save as. Oops. Yes. Chikao Stream. Chikao Stream. All right. Hope you enjoyed today. Hope you've been glad you've been enjoying the game. Love you clearly have. My ally betrayed me real quick. They cannot be trusted. Yeah, those alliances don't last long enough, but hopefully it'll last long enough for me to win one election. All right. Good game today. Thanks all of you for joining. I'll be back not next Sunday. We have a lot of events happening here in Georgia. We've got the Best in Georgia Awards Tuesday at SCAD Atlanta for our Global Game Jam teams. And then we've got our Siege Indie Game Festival on the 19th. I'm not going to be able to do this on the 20th, but I'll be back soon enough. Find a new place to do it. Oh, yes, I will redo the unit.dat. That was embarrassing. Not saving it. All right. Thank y'all. I have saved this one. Have a great rest of your weekend. I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.